The Mormon Church is in trouble, which means that dedicating the last 5 years of my life to warning people about Mormonism was a good personal choice. A Pew Research study just dropped, which is pretty interesting. This chart shows Christianity in America since 2007, and you can see that Christianity in general is just kind of dropping off a cliff. People don't believe in Jesus. The very bottom blue lines down there, that's Mormonism, and it had a big dip during the pandemic when people stopped going to church and lost their faith. That's kind of the era when I left the church. Not because of the pandemic, I left before that. While the number of Mormons right now is kind of holding steady, that is a decline. Based on birth rates alone, Mormonism should be growing. And the Mormon Church has a massive missionary effort around the globe, which includes things like the proselyting missionaries that you see that they have tens of thousands of around the globe, social media and other advertising campaigns, television, radio shows, and a huge emphasis on every member being a missionary, which means that if you're a Mormon, you're basically preaching the gospel every chance you get to everybody you come in contact with. I think it's also fair to include all of the highly visible Mormon social media influencers in that vast army of Mormon missionaries. And with all that, the Mormon Church isn't growing. In 2008, 70% of people born in the church stayed in the church. This recent study shows only 54% of people born in the church stayed. This number reflects Christianity in general right now, that more men are going to church than women. In 2008, the Mormon Church was 44% male. Now it's 52% male. This is a pretty significant flip-flop. There used to be 56% female, and now it's only 47% female. As an ex-Mormon content creator, I hear from a lot of people who've left the Mormon Church, and I think that ratio is more like 5-1. Of everyone that I hear from who's left the church, 5 of those are female, only 1 is male. Maybe the guys just aren't hanging out in Exmo social media. Not surprisingly, the Mormon Church is still the whitest church on the planet, despite their missionary efforts in Africa, which I personally find very offensive. I don't think that any American Christian church should be proselytizing and colonizing on the continent of Africa, especially if they plan to charge those Africans a 10% tithe. And it may be in part because of the whiteness that 38% of Latter-day Saints identify as Christian nationalists compared to 29% of overall Americans. A very simple definition of Christian nationalism is individuals who think that America should be a Christian nation and that we should make government decisions from the Bible. The study shows that Mormons are still hanging on hard to the trad wife model. 41% of Mormons surveyed said that they're more likely to say it's best for children if the mother doesn't participate in the paid labor market in favor of staying home. Why do Mormons push the trad wife model? Because the family proclamation, which is considered revelation from the Mormon prophet, says that that's what they're supposed to do. Very specifically, that God made man and woman to be a certain way. Women are supposed to stay home and nurture their babies. Men are supposed to go out and provide for their family. 69% of Mormons say that abortion should be illegal in most or all cases. And 55% of Mormons think that the increase in transgender acceptance is bad. 87% of Mormons are married to someone who shares their faith, which is why I don't think that Grant should pick Latia, because she's just going to try to convert him. She doesn't want to be married to a non-Mormon. The reason why Mormons marry people of their faith is that you have to get sealed in the temple to a worthy Mormon, or you can't become a god and a goddess and have your own planets. 72% of Mormons say that they volunteered in the past year, which is a huge number. It's like 20 percentage points higher than anybody else. But the survey does say that they speculate that's because Mormons volunteer in their churches. Like, the Mormon Church doesn't have any paid position. It's all voluntary labor. So Mormons are very likely counting that because it takes a bunch of volunteer work to run the Mormon Church. When I left the Mormon Church in 2018, I took with me my stinky, now ex-husband, Jake, 3 of our children. A sister left with me, some of my nieces and nephews, some other family members, a couple of my best friends, and I've been on social media now for 5 years, reaching millions a month, and according to my estimates, I've helped hundreds of people resign from the church. I kind of kept keeping track. And you guys, if you're new here, please don't join the Mormon Church. It is an absolute scam. It will suck you dry, and you're going to look all happy on the outside for a little while until it finally just hoovers your entire soul out of you. I personally only have one regret in life, and that is being Mormon. Thanks for watching.